You know what? When Spider-Man fights, he's almost always holding back. Because if he went all out, his opponent probably wouldn't survive. A lot of people forget that Peter is actually terrifyingly strong. But in the MCU, there are a few moments that really show it. First is Thanos. One regular punch from Peter doesn't even count as a tickle to Thanos. So during the battle on Titan, Spider-Man stops holding back. He fights with everything he's got. You can see that Thanos really struggles to keep up with his attack rhythm. He even gets unsteady and his expression shows real strain. Then in Captain America: Civil War, when Spider-Man faces the Winter Soldier's full-force punch from his metal arm, he catches it easily. And that same punch was something even Captain America had trouble blocking. Then in Mysterio's illusion, after Peter finds out the whole truth, he completely loses control. No more signature Spider-Man chatter. No more lightness. Just pure rage. When he throws a vicious punch at Mysterio, the wall behind him cracks from the impact. If that punch had landed on the real Mysterio, it probably would have killed him on the spot. And then comes the heaviest one. After Green Goblin kills Aunt May, Peter isn't thinking about taking anyone alive anymore. Every punch he throws from then on is heavy enough to dent metal. At one point, Green Goblin can't even fight back. He just takes the beating, completely unable to move. So when Spider-Man is angry and stops holding back, that's when you truly realize just how terrifying Spider-Man really is. Why does Iron Man tap his chest before activating the nanotech armor? Is he really just adding a fingerprint lock? Spider-Man also uses nanotech suits, but if you look closely, he never needs to use his hands to activate it. It deploys instantly with just a thought. Similarly, Black Panther's vibranium suit works the same way. That seems much more convenient. So why does Tony add this manual trigger, making it more complicated? It all goes back to the Battle of New York in the Avengers. Before that, Tony had never imagined fighting aliens. Loki suddenly invaded with the Chitauri army, which made him feel a crisis like never before. And after Tony sent the nuke through the wormhole, he nearly didn't make it back alive. That near-death experience gave him severe PTSD. In Iron Man 3, his anxiety became so severe that he once accidentally summoned his suit in his sleep. Fortunately, Pepper reacted quickly and woke him up, stopping the suit from causing a major disaster. After that, Tony never dared to control his suit with his mind again. Because of his anxiety and recurring nightmares, he might accidentally activate the suit and hurt the people around him. So he abandoned the mental activation mode and chose the safer manual activation method instead. A lot of people missed this. In Infinity War, when Tony gives it everything he's got and barely manages to cut a small gash on Thanos' face, Thanos says,
"All that for a drop of blood."
In that moment, deep down, Thanos actually felt fear. After all, he was practically seen as immortal across the entire universe. He had been through thousands of battles, but before facing Iron Man, no one had ever been able to leave a single scratch on him. Even Thor, who had just awakened his full thunder power, couldn't make Thanos bleed. Yet on Titan, even with 4 Infinity Stones in his possession, Thanos was made to bleed by an ordinary man from Earth, using nothing but technology. In that moment, Thanos realized that Tony Stark was no ordinary man. What was truly terrifying about him wasn't his strength, it was his intelligence. If Tony were given enough time, he could very well build weapons and an army capable of killing him. It was that very fear that made Thanos use one of his strongest attacks on Tony. And when Thanos was about to kill him,
"You have my respect, Stark. When I'm done, half of humanity will still be alive."
he wasn't mocking Tony, he was respecting him, because he saw Tony's intellect as one of the greatest threats to his own survival. That single drop of blood was proof enough of all that. Finally, at the end of Endgame, when Tony is fighting Thanos for the gauntlet full of Infinity Stones, Thanos punches Iron Man away and is about to snap his fingers, but nothing happens. The look of confusion on Thanos' face was a manifestation of his inner fear of Tony. In that instant, his shock and bewilderment were the truest sign of his wariness toward Iron Man. A lot of people didn't notice this. When SEL recovered Captain America from the ice, they didn't place him in an ordinary hospital to wake up. Instead, they built a fake room designated to Luklikith 1940s, so he would think he was still living in his own time. But they didn't do this to deceive him. In fact, Fury wanted to test one thing. After being frozen for 70 years, was Steve's brain still functioning properly? They even played the same baseball game on the radio that Steve had listened to decades earlier, and it was that very detail that made him start suspecting something was off. So when he broke out and ran into the streets of New York, Fury got the answer he was looking for. He confirmed that even after 70 years on ice, the captain's mind was still sharp. You know what? The real reason Thanos lost is that deep down, he was still kind. That sounds unbelievable. After all, he personally wiped out half the universe's population. You might say, how could someone who erased half of all life possibly be kind? But from Thanos' perspective, he was saving the universe. Heavily thought as populations kept growing, resources would eventually run out, and only by reducing the number of lives could civilization continue. You may have also noticed that on Titan, when Thanos used the Power Stone to protect Star-Lord, Drax, and Nebula, all three of them still survived. That wasn't a miracle. It was because Thanos used both the Soul Stone and the Power Stone at the same time, to ensure they wouldn't die. If not, they would have turned to dust in that single strike. In fact, if Thanos had wanted to, he could have killed everyone on Titan, including Doctor Strange and Iron Man. But he still stuck to his principles, and let them live. And it was precisely that self-righteous mercy that ultimately became the real reason for Thanos' downfall. A lot of people don't know this. When Wolverine's claws get stuck, we know he'll yank them out with all his strength. Every time he forcefully pulls them free, it causes him immense pain, so much so that he has to drink himself into a stupor just to pass out. And if you look closely, you'll also notice that Wolverine actually feels pain every time he extends his claws. When they come out, they tear through the skin on his knuckles. Even though his healing factor repairs the wounds, the pain is still there. He just powers through it. And when he retracts his claws, it hurts even more, because the healed flesh gets torn open all over again. That's exactly why, when he puts on his suit, we see metal plates on his gloves. These plates help guide the claws in the right direction when they extend, keeping them from veering off and piercing his tissue further. Also, when Logan puts on his classic mask, those muscular, vein-covered arms are actually not the result of Hugh Jackman's real training. In fact, the arms in that scene were created with CGI, because the directors originally wanted to hide Hugh Jackman's actual physique until the very end. That's why at the beginning of the film, we always see him wearing long sleeves, to make everyone think Hugh Jackman wasn't in shape, only to surprise the audience later when the suit bursts open to reveal his chiseled physique. But here's the problem. After the trailer dropped, a lot of fans started complaining, Wolverine doesn't wear long sleeves. So the studio removed the sleeves in post-production. But since they couldn't reshoot every scene without sleeves, many shots had to rely on CGI to modify the arms. That's also why Wolverine sometimes looks a little off in certain scenes. Why does Wolverine let out agonized roars, while Deadpool seems to feel absolutely no pain at all? The answer lies in the different mechanisms between their healing factors and how they perceive pain. Wolverine's healing factor is extremely fast, but it doesn't block pain signals. His nervous system registers every wound in real time. Every slash, every broken bone, every piercing injury. Every kind of pain is amplified and transmitted in full. What's worse, when he extends his claws, the blades tear through his own flesh. That means Logan is constantly healing while simultaneously enduring a never-ending cycle of trauma. Deadpool, on the other hand, is a completely different case. His healing ability is even more extreme. He can heal even after being torn in half. But the real key isn't the speed of his recovery, it's the way he perceives pain, which has been severely distorted. Years of experiments, psychological trauma, and excessive regeneration have messed up his nervous system. Over time, his perception of pain has become chaotic and twisted. He still gets hurt, but his mind often splits, suppresses, or ignores the sensation. Sometimes, the line between pain and humor gets completely blurred. That's why Deadpool can stroll through an explosion while cracking jokes, while Wolverine can only respond with the rawest, most direct agony. One turns pain into chaos and comedy. The other endures it all in silence and rage. But the one thing that truly gets overlooked is this. Wolverine's most terrifying ability was never his healing. It was his endurance. Because every no numbing, no escaping, just moving forward.